If you bought something for $1,000 and only made the minimum payments, it could take you years to pay it off. And by the end, you wouldn't pay $1,240 like you'd think. Instead, you'd pay closer to $1,400 because that interest adds up daily. That's the cost of buying things to impress people who probably finance their posts as well. And yet, people just keep swiping their card anyway. Not because they don't understand the math, but because it feels normal at this point. In fact, for a lot of people, traditional credit cards aren't even the biggest problem anymore. Instead, it's something called Buy Now, Pay Later. Services like Klarna, Afterpay, and Affirm have exploded in popularity over the last few years, especially with Gen Z and millennials. In 2021, for example, Americans spent around $2 billion using these Buy Now, Pay Later services. By 2024, that number jumped to over $46 billion. And it's not just for big ticket items. People are financing groceries, clothing, gas, and even entertainment, like going to a concert. Which also explains why people seem to be doing better than you, when in reality they're probably not, because they're financing their entire lifestyle. According to a LendingTree report, for example, about 1 in 4 Buy Now, Pay Later users have used it to buy essentials. And here's where it gets risky. About 41% of people who use Buy Now, Pay Later services have missed a payment. That means millions of people are turning to short-term loans to afford basic needs and wants, and then falling behind on those. So if you've been wondering how everyone seems to be spending so effortlessly, the truth is they're not. They're borrowing, invisibly, and a lot of times, unsustainably. And part of the reason all this debt feels so crushing right now is also because the borrowing has never been more expensive. Interest rates are at the highest levels we've seen in decades. Right now, the Federal Reserve's target rate is sitting between 5.25 and 5.5%, which affects almost every part of the financial system. That number drives the cost of everything, from car loans to credit cards to student loans and mortgages. Car loans are now averaging 7.5 to 9% depending on your credit. That's insane. And mortgages. The traditional 30-year fixed mortgage rate is between 6 to 7%, which is more than double what it was just a couple years ago. Now, to put that into perspective, if you were buying a $500,000 house in